Mary Earps, it's been a massive year for you. Golden Gloves at the World Cup, nominated for the Ballon d'Or. You even had a tram named after you, and I guess I should call you Dr. Earps because you've had an honorary doctorate from Loughborough University. And of course, Sports Personality of the Year. You must be walking on air.
It's been a good year. Yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of taking some time over Christmas to kind of reflect and take it all in, because I don't think I really have yet. I feel like I've just been going from one thing to the next, and I'm just grateful for it all, really, and very thankful.
You're now one of the faces of women's football and attracting audiences of over 80,000 in the stadium. When you were playing back in Bristol and Birmingham, did you ever imagine that you would rise to those heights?
I always hoped. I think it's sort of a really nice position to be in when feel like I've seen the game go all the way through its journey, kind of. I played when it wasn't professional. I paid to play. I travelled all sorts of lengths to try and play at the highest level I possibly could, and um, I feel like it's all played a part in where I am now. But of course, the game is growing at an incredible rate, and I think rightly so. It's nice to kind of be able to know where it came from, though, and kind of have that grounding. But I'm really excited to see where it's going to continue to get to.
I want to go back to that night in Sydney, World Cup final, and the penalty. That moment's going to live on in football history, and it will always have your name on it. Talk us through the penalty save.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, obviously, I think we were waiting for VAR for a while, trying to figure out if it was going to be given against us or not. I felt like it was obviously quite harsh, um, but and it was one of them where Spain are an incredible team. For like second half, we were much more in the game than we were in the first half, and um, I thought we were really in the game. But to go 2-0 down would have, with not that long to go, would have really killed our chances. So I was just really thinking about trying to help the team, trying to keep the team in the game, trying to call back on my research. It's not always easy. Obviously, penalties, a free shot from 12 yards. So the odds aren't really in my favour. And I try and go at it with that mentality of just giving it my absolute best, try and inflict myself on the situation. Doesn't always come off, but yeah, thankfully it did in that moment. And it wasn't to be in the game, but that was the penalty save. Yeah, everyone talks to me about that.
You obviously had really researched her, and you guessed right about which side she would go. And you were obviously very pumped up. And you're now famous for what you said afterwards, which I'm not a lip reader. I think it was something like for Cloughie or something like that. It began with an F. What was that moment like?
I think we've got some really terrible lip readers across the country. Really, they've got me all wrong with that. But no, it was just a moment of pure elation, really. I think, and passion. And football is, it's an emotional game as much as it's a business. It's an emotional game, and of course, it's the World Cup final. The crowd's packed, the crowd's electric, and you're giving it all for your country. You're trying to leave it all out there. So it was definitely a moment where emotions boiled over a little bit, and I was just excited that I felt like we could really use that momentum, and I really was convinced that the team would go on and we would win the game. Like, I really felt that in the moment. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, but we created a lot of chances off the back of it, and I think it was just passions running through my veins, really.
There were millions of us, I guess, feeling it with you at the time. The head of the Football Association, Prince of Wales, Prince William, Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, none of them were there. Do you think they should have been?
Oh, I mean, of course, it would have been nice. But to be honest, it's not really something that you take into a lot of consideration. I'm sure they were watching at home, and um, I know Prince William's been around us quite a few times and has always shown his support. I know people talked about people from different federations and different countries, and the presence of of their leaders, world leaders, being there. But um, ultimately, that's what happened, and our focus is on the football. And I know that I'd like to think they would have all been behind us regardless. So.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get you into anything, but I just, as a supporter, I think I can't help but feel if it had been a men's game, somebody would have turned up. But that's my feeling.
Well, that's your feeling. I'm not going to argue with your feeling whatsoever.
Let me ask you about the shirt question. In a sense, you won on that, and the latest batch I gather sold out in 5 minutes of your shirt. Do you think Nike learnt a lesson from that?
Definitely, I'd like to think so. Obviously, I've been speaking tonight quite a bit over the course of the year on this topic. You know, they know that they got this wrong, and that's why they've done this correction. And a big company like Nike, they wouldn't do that if they didn't know that it wasn't right and that there was an injustice there. So I think it's great to see that they did the right thing. And really, I can't thank the public enough really for their support. We would not be in this position without it. Because I was really umming and ahhing whether to use my voice and speak on it or not. I thought I was just speaking for a niche of goalkeepers, but it turned out to be a much with support from a much wider group of people, and for that, I think collectively we've all changed the world, and yeah, I'm really grateful for that. So thank you to everyone.
We're seeing another, if you like, another barrier being broken down this season. It's just been announced that Rebecca Welch will become the first woman to referee a Premier League match. Do you think that matters? And if you do, why do you think it's taking so long to get here?
Yeah, I think it matters. I think it's fantastic, obviously, for the game, and I think that visibility and representation is so important. So, of course, everyone has to, you know, earn their stripes and earn them opportunities, and Rebecca's done that, and I think it's a fantastic advocacy for the game and for women in sport, but women in industries. You know, it's hard sometimes being a woman. You know, so we just have to keep fighting and keep pushing on and keep working hard to get these opportunities. And I'm sure Rebecca will be absolutely fantastic.
Not everybody has the same view about this, and I'm going to say the words Joey Barton. I don't know how well you know Joey Barton, but he has recently suggested that women are only there to fill quotas. He's also hinted that he thinks that the England men's team would beat the Lionesses. I think number he said is 30-0 in the first half. They played head-to-head. What would you like to say to Joey if you were sitting here in this seat?
Nothing, Billy. I probably wouldn't entertain that conversation.
You wouldn't take his view about this seriously?
Well, everyone's entitled to their view. That's perfectly fine. But I think from my point of view, I'm not interested in entertaining that rhetoric. So for me, yeah, cool. That's fine. That's your opinion.
Okay.
Fortunately, I think others have different ones.
Okay, the one last one just from me. I watch A League of Their Own, and you had a very entertaining exchange with Joey Barton, who... not Joey Barton, I beg your pardon. You had a very entertaining exchange with Jamie Redknapp, who asked if the women's footballers jumped in the bath in the way the men's footballers did. And if I may say so, I thought you put him in his place properly. Have you sort of made up?
Yeah, Jamie has always been, you know, really supportive of me. I've done punditry with him, and I've had a laugh with him before. So we're just having a bit of banter backwards and forwards. But yeah, don't worry, Jamie, I'm having you back here. He's always been great to me. And I don't think he meant it how it came across. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was really funny. Obviously there was a bit of banter between me and Jamie, and then a bit between me and Mo as well. So yeah, all's fair in love and war. All good.
Okay, Mary, I'm afraid I'm a blue, but you're a red. But it's been a real pleasure talking to you today, and I wish you well for the rest of the season. Though I hope that you'll go easy on Millie Bright, who was our captain.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a great Christmas and a New Year.